Hello, Rank Team video. Today we're going to take a look at another rank 1 in the world team here. We're going to have a Lanturn in the lead with a Spark. We have the Say Stop of the Alone 9-tails with Powder Snow. And we also have our Noctowl in the back. This team is from someone who I'm going to show most likely here on the screen, where I don't know how to say the name. I'm sorry. There's always a link in the description anyway. If I take content or any team from someone else, I always link them in the description. There is no exception to that, so always find the link in the description where I showcase teams like this, so check them out. But yeah, today we're going to take a look at this team here, and there's actually something I kind of want to tell about as well here. I'm going to use a wrong Say Stop because I expect it to be the very classic Dragonair MEweedle Bastion line, which has been around basically since this season. I only really noticed it this season. I noticed a lot like the last 2-3 weeks already that it was kind of common. Very cool line in general. I think I also talked about it already like a video prior where I didn't use it but also faced it. It's a very common team idea which was basically a thing already, I think around 3-4 seasons ago or something. Just having something that's very safe in the lead, and then 2 Pokemon in the back with Bastion and Medicham to lock in other opponents. So as soon as you win the lead, basically you lost against this team. There's nothing that you can do about it. Mostly one of the most effective strategies, but as you lose the lead, it's going to be also kind of RPS against you usually. So it always kind of hit or miss, but very decent team idea, of course, which has been around though for ages. I've seen this team a lot around here. But one thing that I want to say about the team, you're most likely going to wonder, how did this go? Usually teams that been played in the higher elo are a little bit tricky to play in the lower elo, which I'm not really that low. I'm like around 2,800. I think I climbed with this team. Spoiler alert, I climbed with this team actually a lot there. The thing is, if I just would go after my 2 sets and made my video about this, I had 6 sets today because I had 1 left over from yesterday, so I did 30 battles with this team. If I just went for my first 2 sets, I would have been here with a 3 and 7. I went 3 and 7 in my first 2 sets, which is pretty horrendous, pretty horrible, lost a lot of points. But with those teams, which in general is the case with a lot of teams, you kind of need to have a bigger sample size first, which I did now with 6 sets in total. And you also need to get used to it as well, which is also a big thing with teams that you never really used. I have a team recently built with Powder Snow 9-tails as a Say Stop with Medicham in the lead and Shadow Granbull in the back, which is, by the way, an insane team. I come up against it quite a lot as well in the Great League recently. I saw a lot of people hitting Legend with that team as well. Very, very cool. Can't wait to use the team again when we have Shadow 9-tails. But the general thing is you have to get used to teams first. You have to know the matchups, you have to know how to play with it, and you have to see how it goes over the long run. Don't give up on a team immediately after 2 sets if it doesn't work, if you think it might work. For this team, I went after the 3 and 7 in the beginning. I think I went 15, 1 and 4 then. So 1 was a draw, 15 wins and 4 losses, which is pretty nice for 4 sets. I think that's basically as good as the Macago team, which I showcased earlier today, which also struggled, by the way, in the first set. I mean, the first set was also 3-2, I think, with that one, but the second set was a 2-3, which was only the 1 negative set that I had with Macago. So usually the first few sets, just give the team a little bit of time, and you're most likely going to be able to learn from it and hopefully try to win some games with it. There are a lot of backlines right now, though, that can be a little bit tricky with this team. A lot of Bastions in the backline, which of course you see here is a little bit tricky. You kind of want to get out the Bastion with your Say Stop over the 9-tails, which of course will definitely go down there. There's nothing that you can do really about this. There are not a lot of good Say Stops against Bastion where you really can get a shield advantage or something. Sableye can be pretty decent, but for this team in general, this team worked out really well though. If you think about it, if I just look at the last 4 sets that I played, 15, 1 and 4 is pretty decent. Well, yeah, you just have to get used to teams first. We see a Drapien here, which is very decent for our Noctowl. We will be able to actually, I think I make a mistake here. I shouldn't have thrown this move, for sure not, but as they have a Lanturn anyway, I'm just going to hope that they're going to go back into the Lanturn here as well. I can farm them all the way down. Going to get some nice damage on them as we see the opponent going into Sableye. This can be a little bit tricky though. We will see the move gaining shielded here, which is smart by the opponent. And actually something I didn't know there is that if they go for 1 foul play here, the Shadow Claw already going to do a lot of damage, which is going to be a little bit annoying. I'm going to go straight for the Dazzling Gleam, hoping to get the knockout here, but nope, they're going to shield this move up. In hindsight, I shouldn't have went for that. I should have went for just straight weather balls. Would have been way safer to do. But like this, they're going to be able to farm me all the way down. But I think I'm still okay here. Because I know that they have 2 moves. I have 2 shields for that. And I know that they have a Surf Slot already on the Lanturn. But I'm pretty sure they're not at a Thunderbolt yet. And I think I would speed them. And we have a CMP here. But it's only a Surf, which allows us now to go for a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt will do a ton of damage here, and we will be able to knock them out and knock out the Sableye as well. Good game there, a very close one, but again, like this team works out pretty well when you have half decentish matchups. Here we see Lickitung in the lead. Could be kind of similar to the Dragonair team as well. Lickitung lead or Sableye lead is something that you would use for something like MEweedle Bastion backline. So I want out of here into my 90th, but they actually want to stay in so they don't have a Bastion in the back, which is a great tell for me because now I already know that they most likely don't have the best answer at least for the Noctowl in the back. But I could still imagine something like a Lanturn in the back. That would definitely make a lot of sense with this team here. What I can do now is, I can just use this Lickitung. I can just use it and farm it all the way down, getting all the energy. We see the Altaria coming in here, which we will be able to go for some Sky Attack damage as well. Can go for another one here. And we should get them pretty low here, hopefully swapping that into our Lanturn in time. Try to catch the move here, didn't work out. They can go for one Moonblast, but we get them into range where we can just go for Surf. And we will be able to knock them out with one Surf here, which is also, I think, on a CMP tie, which is amazing. So we have Surf loaded, we have them knocked out here. We see the Lickitung came back in here, which we can knock out with one more Surf as well. Let's see what's coming in afterwards. It's going to be the MEweedle. That's okay-ish. Actually not sure if we can still win this though. Maybe I should win for Surf here. I'm pretty sure I should win for Surf. That would have helped me quite a bit. I'm going to let the first move go through. It's going to be an Ice Punch for sure. I have to get to 2 moves though. Let's see if we can get there in time. We have 2 moves start now. But I'm not sure if they're already at 2 moves because then they would win, but I can go for 1 more. And now it really depends. I think I lose the MP against them. This is a good IV Noctowl, but I'm still going to be able to get to the move here. This is the thing, if you have attack rate on your Noctowl, you're actually going to be able to win CMP against opponents' MEweedle, which is cool. But with the Noctowl that I have, I won't be able to do this, usually at least, so kind of tricky. Here we see Lickitung coming in, which is actually interesting because I expected them to go into Bastion. Usually if you see a MEweedle in the lead, it's very likely to have a Steel type in the back there. It's just the best combination currently available. And what I really hope is that for tournaments, like for the next season basically, that they ban some Pokemon because like otherwise it's going to be still the same. But MEweedle, Bastion, very common core. Here we're actually going to try to realign, which works out pretty well as we see the opponent coming into their MEweedle again. We can go ahead, go for one charge move here, going to be the Weather Ball, as they can farm me down here, but I can get them low enough that our Sky Attack will now one-shot them as well, which is cool. Ice Punch coming through, fine for me. I'm going to hopefully go for my charge move here, but they actually go into their own Noctowl. This should be fine though. I can get some extra energy here, but I actually also can go into my Lanturn. I have to still go for one Surf though, which is going to be a little bit trickier, but I can overfarm a lot. I hopefully just get some damage on them because I think I already got the Weather Ball on them already for the Ninetales. I will be able to go for another charge move here. I will be able to farm them down afterwards. They can still get to a move here sadly, but as long as I get some damage on them, I should be fine. Shadow Ball coming through, fine for me. I can go for one Surf. They get to another move here. I have to shield this move up now. That's going to be really awkward to deal with. But I think I can swap out into my Noctowl now. And I should be able to get to another move here, which should put them into range. Where I hopefully can go for one Surf. They have to overfarm a little bit and have to get to 2 moves against me in order to win this game. But they throw basically immediately here, allowing me to get into my into my Lanturn again. I will be able to go for one Surf here. And this is going to be a good game there as well. Very close one. But yeah, we're actually going to have a very cool battle at the end. I actually just put random battles in there from the middle of my sets, so I don't even know what's actually in here. But I needed to put one battle in the back, which I just really wanted to have in the video. That was like one of my favorite battles of them all. Most likely going to make a short of that as well because it was such a cool one. But yeah, we'll see here Deoxys. Deoxys is kind of tricky to deal with. It's neutral against basically the entire team. So no matter where you really want to have it, like it doesn't really matter. It's like all kind of neutral here. We're going to shield up the move. Going to be a Psycho Boost, allowing us to farm them all the way down now, getting a lot of energy. And I can realign my Pokemon, which is cool, which is going to maybe help me. Let's see. We see the Noctowl coming in. Making a mistake here, show went for the Thunderbolt most likely, but I'm gonna go for the Surf and they call that. I go for the Thunderbolt now and they win CMP, which is horrible. But does it knock me out? It does knock me out. That was a really bad play by me. And now we see a Swampert coming in. This might have cost me the game here now. yeah, that's going to be a tough one to still win. We will be able to go for at least one charge move here with our Noctowl, hopefully trying to get the shield from the opponent, and we do. Like, it's going to be such a weird one to still win. I have to kind of let this move go through because I can get to my charge moves faster with my Ninetales. But it looks like they outspeed me already anyway, so this looks like a loss here to me. I'm going to be able to go for one Weather Ball now. They're going to go ahead and shield up the move, I think. Yep, they do. And I'm going to be able to actually overfarm a little bit. I can go for one Weather Ball here. This should knock out the opponent's Noctowl, right? Nope, it does not, but one more does. I can go for the Weather Ball. Do we survive a charge move from the opponent's Swampert? This is the question, and we do survive that, allowing us to hit this Weather Ball here now. Going to knock them out and win this game. Next opponent, Fat Sheep again. I think we had them before already. I remember this name. Again, something like this kind of is something that you can play also with Bastion and MEweedle in the back with like the, with the Sableye in the lead. Something like as good as a Sayswap in the lead is kind of nice for like trying to trap people in. This is also a Pokemon that can trap in Pokemons like the Noctowl with the Lanturn here. We will be able to go for one Weather Ball here, trying to bait the shield, and we do get the shield from them, which is amazing. I can go for another Weather Ball, just trying to get some damage on them here. And I think this was a CMP type. No, it wasn't a CMP type, but they're going to go for one charge move here anyway. Has to be the Surf, of course. It's actually the Thunderbolt. That's even better for me, because now I will be able to go ahead and farm them all the way down. They can go for one Thunderbolt, but they won't be able to reach another one. This should be a Surf if they go for another move here. And I have a ton of energy now. Lanturn with energy is amazing because the coverage of water and electric basically hits nearly everything other than grass type Pokemon, so that helps out a lot, especially as we face a like duo here that's pretty damn weak against a Noctowl, which is interesting. I actually wonder what they want to do against Noctowl. Kinda, maybe they use Sayswap of MEweedle, which is kinda neutral against it, I guess, but here we will be able to farm them all the way down. We see the MEweedle coming in. And I will be able to survive any move on my Noctowl here anyway, so I will be able to get some damage here. I can go for one Sky Attack, and I still have my Surf Starter, of course, in the back there. So I'm just going to wait for them to throw a charge move here. They're going to throw here. I have some lag as well. But now I can swap out into my Lanturn. I have still some lag and go for the Thunderbolt here, trying to knock them out. And I will be able to finish them off there. Good game there to my opponent. Next opponent, we'll see an Altaria against us. Altaria is a little bit tricky with this team because we have the best answer basically in the back there, but swapping into it of course guarantees that they're going to swap out now as well, but I still gotta get them low enough and I'm going to be able to bait out this Stunfisk. This is one of the matchups where I'm really looking forward to having the Shadow Ninetales here. Shadow Ninetales can potentially flip this in the 2-shield scenario just because you're going to need, like, you're going to do more damage with your charge and fast moves here, which really allows you to flip this, as here, for example, the Rock Slide doesn't even come close to knocking us out, but 2 of them, of course, will do. So we still will have enough health left to knock out, to not get, like, farmed down by the opponent most likely, while you see them, like, getting lower and lower just by our fast moves alone, Powder Snow doing a lot of damage. So I think the Shadow version would really help here, but also what can help here is catching the charge move onto our Lanturn. They're going to go ahead and go into the Swampert, which is not ideal for us either, but at least we're going to be able to go for some Surfs here. The catch itself was really nice, to be fair, as we're going to put them into range for one charge move of our Noctowl as well. They can go for the Hydro Cannon, they can knock me out, they can just go into my Noctowl and I should be fine here. Let's see. Noctowl coming in, one Sky Attack will be enough, but they're most likely going to be able to get to 2 moves anyway. Hydro Cannon coming through, and I think they get to 2. Yeah, they're gonna get to 2 moves here. I will be able to shield up the next one as well, as I can go ahead and go for the Sky Attack, knocking out the opponent's Swampert. And now it's going to be a little bit close. Let's see, we're going to see the Altaria coming in. I'm going to go ahead, and I think I can swap out now, right? Moonblast coming in. Actually going to go for the charge move here. Don't know if I needed to, but I can now swap out and farm them down, but they actually already go down, never mind. I can go for the knockout now against the Stunfisk and win this game here as well. Stunfisk is, in general, most likely the worst Pokemon to face with this team. I mean, you have an electric type in the lead and a flying type in the back, plus ice type, which is weak to Rock Slide as well. So it might not be the best one, but this is my favorite game here. Hypno in the lead, a Pokemon that I actually tried to play as well before. Actually this season as well, but there was no video because the team just didn't work out. This is like the thing that you also don't always see. Like, there are a lot of teams where I was like, okay, that's not really worth showcasing because like the results didn't really, wasn't really that good. Like the games itself weren't really that good, so I kind of dropped Hypno. But here my opponent actually does do some great job with that. We will see the Umbreon coming in, which we can counter with our Lanturn now. Lanturn will have a pretty decent time here. We have still the 1 HP version in the back there of our Ninetales. We see the foul play coming through here. We can go for one Thunderbolt. This Thunderbolt going to do some pretty nice damage, but you will see here that they are going to be able to get to more moves. I think they have Dark Bolts here, right? No, it's actually foul play. Foul play going to do some nice damage, but we will see the Thunderbolt coming through, and we hopefully can farm them all the way down. But they can go for another foul play here as they swap into the Scrafty. And now I have 2 Pokemon with 1 HP in the back, a Scrafty with 2 shields, and I have to call all the moves. It's going to be a Power Punch here first. I have 1 shield disadvantage, which is even worse for me. They're going to go for another Power Punch, so I'm going to no-shield this one as well. But they're just boosting up here right now. And the issue is that they can outspeed me into the charge moves as well. And my health is declining. Like, there's not a lot that I can do about it. I'm going to have to use my shield soon. But, like, there's no way of winning this game here, right? We'll see the Power Punch coming through. They're just going to chunk, but for whatever reason, they decide to swap out here. I can swap into my Ninetales. I can swap into my Lanturn, all with 1 HP. I can still get just barely to the Surf, going to knock them out. They're going to go back into the Scrafty. I will be able to go for the Sky Attack, and I will be able to knock the Scrafty out here. And they still have 1 HP left on the Hypno, and that's going to be it for the final game. What a roller coaster. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly did, and leave a like on this, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.